8 minutes on the Cardinals.
Yes. You want to talk about
I could do 8
Larry
minutes on the
Fitzgerald
Cardinals
and
or some
Carson
of that.
Palmer, or
We could.
Palmer to Fitzgerald?
Oh, we're talking about the team that you made up.
Who are you talking about?
We're talking about the St. Louis Cardinals, the actual Cardinals.
The baseball Cardinals.
Not the ones that...
Let's talk about the baseball Cardinals.
So, St. Louis Cardinals?
Yes. I love the St. Louis Cardinals. I think they're going to have a monster year. Jason Hayward coming over from Atlanta. Great signing. You have Adam Wainwright, who's going to be 100% healthy. Adam Wainwright, in my opinion, is the equivalent to Clayton Kershaw when 100% healthy. So you have that. In the offseason, they did have the tragic death of Oscar Taveras, one of their top prospects. I think they're really going to rally around that. You're going to see the patch on the sleeve during the games. I think you're really going to rally around that. Plus, they're just extremely talented. Great pitching, great bullpen. Always good defense, always smart moves. I just think this is the Cardinals' year to run through that NL Central.
I'm about to say, not only that, but they know how to draft.
They do.
They know how to sign the players at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what they gave up for Hayward?
Yeah.
I mean, not much.
Do you even know who they gave up for Hayward?
Not knocking off Shelby Miller, but I do feel like for what they did, I mean, compared to what the Padres did to get Justin Upton, I really feel like the Cardinals did not give up a huge amount for a player of what I think is going to have a great year.
Oh, Hayward's going to be amazing.
And Bush the fourth, whatever stadium number that one is. It's like their fourth one. Brewers.
Brewers, I'm usually pro Brewers. This year, as much as I would love to pull for them, I don't see them finishing any better than fourth.
Well, because you're giving up on beer.
I'm over with it. They got Gomez and Braun, and that's it. They traded Gallardo to Texas, who's going to be their frontline starter, who's going to be their closer. Rodriguez isn't coming back. I don't see where's the pitching going to be.
I do worry about their pitching overall. The fade, I always feel like teams, whatever they do in late August and September, a lot of times carries over to the next season. So like a team that's, like the San Diego Padres, didn't have a great year, but towards the end, they put it on, so I feel like they're going to have a really good 2015 because of that.
The momentum.
But I also feel the same thing about the Brewers. The Brewers had such an awesome year, and then towards the end they fell off, and they fell off quick. They crashed and burned, and I mean, I still put them in third place, but I put them in third place because I really don't feel like the bottom three are going to matter.
Yeah, that's true.
As we talk about the Reds.
Well, the Reds are definitely the twins of this division. The Reds have nothing. I don't see any...
Just the All-Star game.
Other than the All-Star game, and P. Rose is going to be part of that All-Star game. With the exception of that, this is not the year to be a Cincinnati Red fan.
Cincinnati Reds look really like they're in shambles.
Yeah.
Walt Jocketty, I really was surprised. It looks like the ownership and it's one of those things where it seems like the ownership actually wants to spend money, but the general manager is like, you don't have it to spend type thing.
It's a very confusing situation.
They've traded off some players where I've been like Matt Latos to Marlins, Simmons to Detroit, where it's like, whoa, what's going on here? Yet, Bailey's still around, Cueto's still
around for how long? Who knows?
We don't know.
Probably till the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Or after, since it's at their stadium.
So, I mean, this is very interesting to see where the Reds, where they decide to go.
Right.
Because they're really in limbo. It does feel like at one time that the ownership is saying, let's go for it. And then you have a GM that's saying, hey, it might be time to think about rebuilding.
Exactly.
And maybe that'll come after this year because I think they're trying to save face for the All-Star game.
Of course.
The Pirates. They look good. They've been good.
Yep.
Clint Hurdle has seemed to have awakened something, and the community's coming behind him. What do you think about the Pirates?
Well, it also helps when you have a former MVP in Andrew McCutchen as well, who is one of the top 5 players in the league. I love the Pirates. I think they're going to finish behind St. Louis in the number 2 spot. You have McCutchen, and he really sets the tone for the team. The division isn't all that strong. So the Pirates' pitching is above average. It'll be enough to get them to that second spot, but not quite enough to beat the St. Louis Cardinals.
I don't think anyone really is going to have a shot at the St. Louis Cardinals. And their biggest rival in that division is the Chicago Cubs. And the Chicago Cubs have said, let's open the bank. Let's bring up the players that the fans are wanting us to bring up.
Yep.
This Kris Bryant thing actually very reminiscent of the Giants fans pushing for Buster Posey to come on now.
Exactly.
That's how I feel, and he's really got the talent to do it. How do you
Yes.
feel about the Chicago Cubs going forward in 2015?
Well, Kris Bryant is the real deal. I think Cub fans are going to love having him when he comes up, if he doesn't start the year off. But I think the expectations need to be tempered a little bit. John Lester, to me, is not the #1 guy you want leading your team. That's what the Cubs have. Then you have Starlin Castro at shortstop, who is a huge question mark. Really could have been the leader of this team for the last 4 or 5 years, but hasn't taken that leadership role and has put up average seasons. But he's a big-time talent. He plays a premium position at shortstop. Typically, the shortstop should be, kind of like the leader of the defense. He hasn't stepped up. Maybe that'll change now with Joe Madden. But I believe the Cubs will go as far as Castro takes him, because he is their best player. And just from what I've seen in the past, that's probably a 3rd-place finish.
Yeah. I have them in 4th because I feel like I really felt Zamarjda was marginally better than Lester.
Yeah.
And Chicago, I think, benefits from that, where the Cubs, on the other hand, they get Lester at a higher premium, and you got Josh Hamels back, but that probably should have been a trade that you left out there.
Yeah. I wouldn't be too proud of that one.
So I really don't. I mean, there's Arrieta. I mean, they've got.
I wouldn't be too proud of that one either.
They've got some opportunities. I think Arrieta within time can improve, but I really feel like when it comes to the pitching, I just don't feel like they don't have it. They're quite there yet. I mean,
and the bullpen too.
I mean, yeah. I mean, really, I feel like this is a team that's youthful in position players.
Yes.
And I think defense-wise, especially with Joel Madden, that with the defense and the offense, that they can come into their own. But my worries is that pitching staff, and I'm talking all the way up to closing. How are they going to get there? And when they get there, what are you going to do? Can you really consider it a team that can pitch 1 through 9?
Yeah,
exactly. I just don't see it.
No,
so,
definitely not.
But I mean, we're both in agreement when it comes to the Cardinals.
Yes.
And we're
Pirates,
both in agreement when it comes to the Pirates. Yep. We're a little flip-floppy when it comes to the Brewers or Cubs.
Yep.
But I'm with you. I think it could. I think it could go either way, and we both believe the Reds. I just feel like
the Reds will have 3 days there where they're the most important team in the league for that All-Star break.
Who knows? Great American Ballpark. We may not even know it's in Cincinnati.
Well, I wish we were there, though. Then.
Well, especially with the Fox announcers, we may never know what's going on there. Those guys are. That's another
episode.
That's another episode altogether.
Definitely.
Well, this was the National League Central. Yep. Like it. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Put a little comment down there. Share it. And subscribe. And we'll be doing the American League East is next week's episode.
Can't wait.
Which will be pretty good. And then the National League East ought to be very interesting. Because if you thought we thought the Reds were in disarray, we'll be talking about those Atlanta Braves.
Yes.
And we'll be talking about how that team is schizophrenic. All right, I'm Scott Ashley Smith.
I'm Michael Cezino.
And this has been Bases Loaded from the lovely studios here at SAS Studios. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.